Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have another Christmas video for you today, and it's something a bit different. When you think Christmas, you might think the food, spending time with family, presents, cottages, but no. I think when it comes to Christmas, a bit of Spotify Wrapped. More specifically, my top 5 artists of Spotify Wrapped. That's why in today's video, we're going to be decorating the rooms of this house with my top Spotify Wrapped artists.
Have you ever had a dream that you
The first artist we have on my Spotify Wrapped is none other than Queen Olivia Rodrigo herself, followed by Joshua Bassett in second, Sabrina Carpenter in third, Ariana Grande in fourth, and Conan Gray in fifth. So let me explain more about this video. I have built this lovely green Spotify house for us today, and already decorated some rooms including the porch and the entranceway with this amazing wall, may I just say. And ignore the melons everywhere. I may or may not have been food attacked yesterday, so I'll get rid of those in a bit. But today we're going to be decorating this bedroom, this bathroom, this office, this kitchen, and this living room. And they're all going to be themed from my 5 different artists. And we're going to spin a wheel to figure out what room is for what artist. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first room we're going to spin for is the office, and I have an idea of who I want for this, but I don't want to put it out into the open unless I get it. Sabrina, come on. Come on! No! We were so close. But we can make Ariana Grande work. We can make her work. So let's get building. Welcome once again to voiceover mode. So we're just gonna chill and watch me build. But this, I can't lie to you guys, is probably the worst room of the whole video. I don't know if it's because it's like the room I started with, so I was getting into it, or if she just had the hardest album cover, which I think is possibly the case. If you didn't know, we're using the Eternal Sunshine Deluxe album cover, which is on the screen now, and as you can see, it's not much. It's a black screen with a spotlight, which is when I got the idea to add the tracking spotlight to follow me around when I walk into the room if I hold the mic. I know, clever, isn't it? But yeah, that was kind of my only idea for this room, and the rest, because obviously the album cover is just darkness, I was like, well, the room has to be dark. But then I wanted to throw in some white for like the light and stuff, and then kind of the rest of ideas I get are just from going, you know? So, as this is a Spotify Wrapped build, I thought I would ask you guys to comment down below what your Spotify Wrapped were and what you think of my Spotify Wrapped. I personally thought it was a pretty strong one this year with all my artists. I was surprised Ariana made it on, I can't lie, because I think the only songs I listened to of hers this year was We Can't Be Friends, or that one, you know, We Can't Be Friends, that one. And One Last Time. But I did not think she would sneak on, but she did, and can't blame her. This is when I had the idea, also in the video, to make the chair look like her dress in the album cover that's like draping down and she's being like lifted into the light. So I thought it would be a cool idea to put some curtains there and just make it a bit of fun, you know? A bit of fun. But as you can see, I was really going with white and black, so there wasn't really much to the room at this point, and this is where I started getting nervous, and I was like, I actually don't know what I'm doing with this room. But then I found that new item, those hanging curtains. Banging. They're lovely, because they're so like diverse, you can use them for so much. Every room also you'll see has so many pillars, but the rooms get better and better as the video goes, guys, so once we get through this, it's fine. I promise. But the outside of the room at least turned out well. When I came up with those like music note walls, I was chef's kiss and proud of myself. Absolutely insane. Can't lie. But this is when I was starting to try to decorate, add a bit more colour into the room, because it's like it can't just be white and black. So I tried to add some plants on these shelves that I think I shortly get rid of. And then I found that mirror, which goes with the album, because Eternal Sunshine and Sunshine, you know? So I was happy with that. I was like, yeah. And then this is me just playing with the shelves again. This room probably took me one of the longest, as in like longest out of the amount of stuff I edited out because it was so back and forth with what I was trying to do. Where the other rooms, they took long, but they were more like, I know what I'm doing, kind of. There's one other room that I struggle with, like, majorly, but we'll get to that when we get to that. That music box was also so annoying, because I was just trying to build, and I was going, whatever song it plays. So at one point you will see it just randomly have stopped because I walked in and turned off the music box because it was driving me up the wall. This is when I was trying to introduce more gold for the album because it just made sense to me. It just made sense because Eternal Sunshine and all that. So just wanted to wrap the gold in a bit more. Added a radio, did some clutter on these shelves which are absolutely random. This pink book though, I wanted a little hint to like another one of her albums, so that's a little hint to like Thank You Next, the burn book from Mean Girls. That's what I tried to do there. And then this is when I started scrambling because I was so done with this room. I was so like creatively worn out. I know after the first room I was creatively worn out. That shows how much I struggled on this room. That's when I had the idea on what to do with that space. I wanted to build a little mic stand for her mics, because obviously the mic's a big part in this room because without it the light won't follow you. I wanted to like make the mic have its own place to stay, so I made like a trophy case almost that it sits on that then she can grab and like have a little sing, and obviously we detailed it to make it look a bit more realistic, but that's just me doing that. And yeah, overall this room's probably my least favourite, but you'll get a full tour of it at the end of the video once I've changed all the decals and everything, and yeah. For room number 2, this will be for the kitchen. So, I don't really know who I'd want for this, but I guess we'll let the wheel decide. And we have Joshua Bassett. Alright, we're going to need to have a bit of a think on this one, but I think we got it. Alright, next room. So, I'm actually quite excited about this one. After some thought, I actually think I have a decent idea. So, this is his album cover for the Golden Years. Notice how the main feature is a tree? So, I felt like I had to include it. My dog is in the background, so if you hear noise, that's what that is. But anyway, the idea. Kitchen. Island in the middle. In the middle of the island, we have a big tree. Oh, just all my ideas on fire today. First the light, then the tree. I'm too smart for this game, too smart. But anyway, this is just me doing the boring bit, adding counters and cabinets, and ain't no way in this build you're going to catch me making custom cabinets and stuff. But you are going to catch me trying to change this material, because why is it all clipping so much? So we'll go through that, and I think I find a better material in the end. Oh, there you go. We found a better material in the end. But I wanted to keep his like autumnal kind of vibes and like the yellow, as of why I'm painting most of the appliances yellow. But that wasn't enough of a yellow for me. There you go. So I ended on this ugly yellow colour that now that I'm looking at it. But we go with it, and I think in the end it looks good. Once you add the lighting and stuff, it all gets tied together. This ends up being one of my favourite rooms in the house, I can't lie. I just think it worked out quite well, and I like the ideas of it. But also, guys, I do have a Discord server now, so go add that. I will put the link in the description. If you want to be part of my little kingdom and all that, go add it up, because we want you to be a part of it, and it means you'll get notified when I go live, when I post, and it's just a fun little community to be a part of. So link will be somewhere below. But here's me now shaping and trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with this house. With this tree. Gosh, what house am I talking about? This is where I'm trying to figure out the like basics of the tree. So I want it to start off thicker and then go smaller. It's not the most impressive shaped tree that you've ever seen in BLOXBURG, no. But it does its job, and it is a tree in a kitchen, so if you're saying it looks unrealistic, then it's also still a tree in a kitchen, so that's unrealistic. So it could be a fake tree, we don't know. I was just adding some branches, trying to make sure it wouldn't clip through the roof. I then for ages do these branches only for them to all be covered by the leaves at the end, so I am going to skip ahead and skip all this out, so I'll be back in a second.
One eternity later.
And we're back! So this is when I was finishing doing the branches. Little did I know that all my hard work was about to be covered up. Devastating. Devastating, honestly. But I do find it quite calming doing like a lot of structural placing and all that in BLOXBURG. There's a certain charm to it. It gets a bit tedious at points, but there's a certain charm to it. Here I am adding roots just to make it look more like a tree, like in the house. I don't know, make it make sense, but it is a Spotify Wrapped house, so it will do something. It will do something. I'm just trying to think of what other bits I can tell you guys. These roots go on for a while. Gosh, I love voiceovering. I think it's one of my favourite parts of editing, because I literally just get to sit here and yap to you guys. But guys, I have not gone for a food shop since my last video, and I've been on rations. But my mum sent me some money to get takeout, so my takeout is on its way right now as we speak, while I'm editing. So yeah, this is where I start trying to do leaves. So I wanted to do a platform with a bunch of like different shapes and sizes of the balls. Why is my brain lagging so much? Here I am adding all the autumnal colours. Very nice, very nice. Eventually we find like a colour scheme that I like. There you go. One of the colours were a bit too green, so I like toned it down there. And this is when I saw the vision. I was like, yeah, it looks like the top of a tree. Excuse me. Gosh, all the noises in today's video. But once we go up, we can flip it around.
The marble flip it around. Wicked witch, wicked witch.
This is where I realised all my branches got covered, and I didn't know whether to retry or just call it a day, so I just called it a day. You can see some sticking out the top, but like, you'll never see it inside. This is now me grabbing a light box, because I think little like trick in BLOXBURG, light boxes add so much effect. I think they're just such a good light to like put in builds like anywhere you can. Like whether you need to make custom lights, use like light boxes. A fake window, use a light box. Put it in a tree to make your place look sunny or like autumnal. It just makes sense. And this is where I was just adding all the appliances. I didn't change their colour because I actually thought the like different shade of yellow like broke it up a bit. So it was quite nice. This was me making like a coffee station. Don't know why I added those mats. I just thought it was needed. So here I am doing that, and I think I'm basically done. Oh, and I had to add a guitar, because when will you ever see Joshua Bassett anywhere in life without his guitar? And yeah, I will see you guys at the next room. Goodbye. Alright guys, so for the next room we are going to be spinning for the bathroom. And I am hoping for Conan Gray, I can't lie, because his theme's kind of like boats and stuff. But we got Sabrina, so it's okay. Do I know what I'm going to do? No. But like all the others, I'm sure we'll figure it out. So let's give this a go. Alright then, it's time for the next room. Sabrina Carpenter. So I am using her Short and Sweet album cover, which has blue in it. Blue. And a little kiss mark on her back, shoulder, back of her shoulder. Doesn't matter. But this is what the album looks like if you don't know. And a bathroom for Sabrina. I was a bit confused. I was hoping to get her for the office or the bedroom, because I thought that would just make the most sense. But then I was like, okay, bathroom's probably not the worst one. Kitchen probably would have been really, really hard. But I decided to try make like, not a bay window, but like this window that is like there instead of like the shower thing. Because if you've gone to her tour or watched any clips from her tour, you know the whole back of the stage is based off like a house. So I was like, oh, it would be cool if we added like a window, almost like she's like looking out the window like while she's having a shower, you know. But who knows? Who knows? I then added some flowers just to add to the whole effect of it being a fake window and like she was like looking over to like a roof with her little pot on it. But that's what we were doing. I had a few decals. I had a little lip mark ready, which I thought would be cute, and then I realised how annoying it is to place decals onto basic shapes. But we move, it's okay. And these new mats in BLOXBURG I actually really like. I know they're like non-slip mats. They remind me of where I used to work when I used to do lifeguarding. And they're just cool. I think they're cool for showers and doormats and stuff. But if you didn't see, I changed the colour to more of a light blue just because I know in the album cover that like royal blue is like more what she's going with. But I thought the light blue just fitted a bathroom a bit more. The vibe was just better. And if you, throughout this video, hear squeaking, it's not me farting, I promise. It's just my chair. But here I am, still attempting to add some lips to this thing, even though I know it's not going to look good there, but I think it stays for a tiny bit. I filmed this quite a while ago, guys. It took like a day or two to film this, and then it's been a bit for editing, but there's some behind the scenes for you there. Here I am, still trying to figure it out. You can see I'm working a bit slower in this build, or in this room, just because I'm not too sure what to do. If I got to pick the rooms, I think I would have been a bit quicker, but I was like, oh, it's going to add more of a challenge if I just like let fate come up with it. And in the video, I only get one person like in the room I want. Everyone else was in the room like I probably was like, nah, because I originally wanted Ariana for the bathroom, and then I wanted Sabrina for the office. I wanted them to switch. I wanted Josh for the living room, and then I wanted Conan for the kitchen and Olivia for a bedroom. But you'll see who's right and who's not. But then I thought, because her short and sweet tour has a lot of little hearts, to try get some hearts up in here a bit, just to add a bit of decor. I think I end up adding another one at one point, but it just messes up the pattern, but I think it stays, so you're going to have to forget about that. But this is when I did start going all out with hearts. Here it is. I start adding in some white hearts, but like it just throws off the pattern, but it looks okay enough, so we just go with it. It's a bit annoying, but it's just hearts at the end of the day. And this is when I was like, this video is going to be so long, so I need to start picking up the pace. Adding another little kiss mark. I liked marking all of her furniture with the kiss marks, as it was just cool and a cute little detail. We are now almost finished with this part of the bathroom until we move on to counters, which I think we're moving on to now. This was the next day, and thankfully I had a break because I tried to start the counters the day before and it just wasn't working. I didn't know what I wanted to do, the vibe was just off. But I wanted to tie the blue and white in again, obviously, because it's a bathroom. And I wanted to do some little like custom shelves, which I thought were cool. They're a bit hard to see in this light, because BLOXBURG's lighting update, not a fan. BLOXBURG, please fix it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just all the lights are suddenly really bright, and this is me struggling to use basic shapes. Bless him. But this bit's all quite self-explanatory, so I just want to take a moment to ask you guys if you're following my TikTok. And if you're not, you should, because I go live there quite a lot, and it's good fun. I interact with you guys, and we play BLOXBURG, and I'm thinking of starting to play some other games on some days. Obviously BLOXBURG will still be my main content, but just on some other days, just to spice it up a bit, we'll play some random games that are popular and have some fun. Also, there was no syncs that like worked on these counters, because the counters were kind of like in each other, so I had to make a custom one, and it works out quite well in the end. I was trying to base it off that like square one that we actually have in the game, as you'll see, and I think it worked out quite well. It looks like a sink. It was just the tap I was stressed to make, but that's me adding the plug and having a little break apparently. But just, you can see my thought process when in those freezers. It's just him thinking, wondering what to do. Well, there's the handles of the tap. And obviously, guys, as videos go on, I will hopefully get better at these voiceovers, as right now I find them a bit tricky, but I think we're getting somewhere. But any like advice would be great, or like any things you want me to talk about, or even if you send me some questions, or like on Discord if I make a little section where you guys can send me some questions and then I can answer those while we watch the build. Sometimes there's just not much to talk about, like while you're building. Most of the time there is, but like sometimes, like adding this mirror, you don't want me to just sit here and be like, I added a mirror. But this is where I was starting to get creative. I added a lot of these post-its because I thought Sabrina would have like a hit list and need all the names of her victims. This was me trying to make a dartboard and then going to try to put like a man's photo on it. Because like, men. Ugh. But it didn't work, so we didn't do that. And then I finally got to add that little album of Sabrina. I knew whatever room, even if it was like the kitchen or something, I was going to add the little like BLOXBURG Sabrina Carpenter album, because I think that's so cute that they've like added it, and I hope we get more like recreated album covers like that in the future. But I added some tissues because, you know, Miss Sabrina's going through her stuff a lot of the time, so we needed to add that. Just for her to wipe her eyes. And then I added a few bottles and 2 little shot glasses at the top, because if you haven't seen her tour, she likes to take a shot on stage, and it's really cool. It's really cool. But I thought I'd give her some glasses and stuff around, and I think this is me putting together the final details. And then I added some shampoo and stuff, because a girl's got to wash. A girl has got to wash. So added in a hairbrush, because when you think of Sabrina, you do think of that hair. Added in those old perfume bottles I kind of forgot about. And then this is me going, okay, I'm just going to chuck some random stuff on the walls just to call this room done, because I'd done most of my ideas at this point. Now I was kind of just winging it. But I think it worked out in the end. I just added some more hearts, and then I tried a few different things on this wall. But I didn't want to do too many post-its because I thought they were just taken away. But then I found this item again. I told you it was diverse, and I popped it in there and it just filled up the space nicely. And then I grabbed the mic stand one more time, because she's going to need a mic when she's singing in that shower, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Alright, the last spin of the video, because for the next spin we'll already know who we're going to get, so no point spinning it. But I'm hoping this is for the lounge, but who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Alright, I have good ideas for Conan. I don't know why I sounded constipated there, gosh. But no, Conan's good. I have a good idea for this one. This could be cute.
Speak up, I know you hate me. Looked at your picture and cried like a baby.
Welcome to Conan Gray's room. Spoiler alert, this is my favourite room of the house. Fully. It just worked out so well, because I thought I wanted to go for like a coastal kind of vibe. That's why you can see I have some ugly wall panels on right now. Don't worry, they go in a second. But I needed to add the blue and red that he has in his album cover. Oh, and here is the album cover if you don't know what it looks like. But it has some blue, red and white in there, so I really wanted to like add that vibe in, and I thought the wood would just tie in well, because like it's like sailing and like coastal, and like this like colour of wood we have on the floor anyway just works. So here's me doing the pillows on the couch, which I also am obsessed with. Don't know why, I just am. I think this room, just the colour scheme worked out perfectly. And look at this, when I did the carpet, I added chains on the carpet and would like colour them a different colour, so it almost looked like stitching or like little bits sticking out the carpet, and I just thought it looked so good, and I still do think it looks good. So no one try burst my bubble in the comments. I'm watching. No one's gonna rain on my parade today, Because look how good that looks. Look how good that looks. And then I just added some more patterns to the carpet, pushed those into the ground, and again, more chains. I'm very passionate about this carpet, and I am going to be using this build hack again. So there's a new little build hack for you guys. Add the chains. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But anyway, for this room, or for any room I got Conan for, I knew I was going to try add like a boat piece of furniture. Whether that was like a boat island in the kitchen, or a boat bathtub in the bathroom, or a boat bed in the bedroom, that kind of thing. So you'll see in a minute I try to add a boat table, but we'll get to that. I thought it was happening sooner than it is, but apparently not. This is me covering the pillars, because every room you've probably noticed I've covered the pillars, just because I think it like ties the room together more than like having to have the house look the exact same the whole time. But here I am adding pillars, all looking great, all looking snazzy. But make a little shelf over here now, and more wood, because why not? Copying the sofa over, here's the little shelf going in. It was just such a perfect place for a shelf. You can't tell me it's not. You cannot tell me it's not. So I ended up going with 2 shelves because I wanted to put something underneath the shelves, which we'll see in a bit. But here I am. See, we've changed the ugly panels on the walls to like a nice brick. Here I am making that boat furniture I was talking about. I wanted the top of it to be like pointy, like a boat would be, but I found it was too difficult, so I've just edited that part out, because I end up just going with the boat being like a half circle. But I think it still looks good, and it still adds like the effects I want. It's almost like a half. It's almost like you got a barrel and you chopped it in half. See? Right there. And coloured it the same wood. When I saw this table, I went, yes, this room is looking so good. And guys, can we just go back to that carpet, please? Like, how insane is that? This room, I probably got done the quickest and did the most in the quickest time. Just because after I did, like, the colour scheme and stuff, it all just came flooding to me. But here I am, trying to fill up this wall. Obviously, it's a living room, so we have to have a TV. So put it in my favourite fireplace in BLOXBURG. Popped a nice grey colour on to try complement the like brown and white. Popped a TV on. Called it a day. Oh, and then I added a decal of Conan because I thought, because this room was going so well, we may as well see the man who inspired it. But I want to build a whole house like off this room with how I've done it. I just love it so much. I thought this little tea light is quite sailory. I don't know why. I just thought it was. And then I used this wheel. I used to always decorate my houses with this wheel in BLOXBURG all the time. Like any house you'd walk into, I'd have them all over the wall. But there you go. I thought it would be like a ship's wheel. And then here I am adding some structurals just because I thought it would like out the light a bit more, which it did. What we doing now? What we doing now? We're adding some beams. We love the beams. Obviously trying to make sure they're not poking into the bedroom, because that would not be good. It would not. But here we are. Sometimes I realise how long things take, like even when this is sped up. Why am I still placing beams? But that's okay. Oh, this is when I got the idea to make a wishbone, because obviously Conan Gray's album is called Wishbone. So I thought making a cute little wishbone would be good. But also I found it quite challenging in the end, because like it's hard to make a wishbone look like a wishbone. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? But I thought it came out well in the end. I just had to make the end of it a bit thicker, so it looked more like a wishbone and not like, I don't know, a weird organ. But I think it came across. Then I just framed it. I don't know where he found that big of a wishbone, but we're just going to go with it. This is when I was decorating the shelves. I used to love decorating shelves in BLOXBURG, but I actually hate it now. I've realised from like the last few builds I've done, they're just not fun to do. This is when I thought those new book items, you could like colour them individually, but you cannot. So I went with these books, and it looked good. I just thought it looks a bit like an American like flag. We've got the red, the blue, and all that. But it's all fine. Adding a globe. I found a few items I forgot we even had in BLOXBURG, and then I found this scale, which I'm guessing came with the school update, this rock thing. I was just trying to fill it up with like little antiques that like you think they would be able to find sailing. And I kept the globe out because I did want to try use it at one point. That top shelf was too empty for my liking, so here's me trying to fill it up. Added a little incense holder, and finally added a bird to that shelf, and I went, that's fine, we're going to call it there. Here I am adding wall trims. I always only do this last minute, but I need to start doing it at the start because it ties the room together so well, and the room goes from me going, oh no, it looks so empty and bad, to, oh, okay, pulling it together. But I just replaced that incense holder, and then I added some beams on the ceiling to make it look even more like, not industrial, what's the opposite of industrial? Wooden real. Added some curtains, which I thought looked lovely with their little plaid. They were really subtle, but like they were there still. Added some side tables, because people need to put their coffee somewhere. Coffee. And added some plants, just to add a bit more green. But guys, how good does this room look? I don't know if it's just me, but I think it looks so freaking good. Here I am just decorating this last wall because I don't know. I just thought it needed a bit of oomph, and I love using those like fans, the windmill thing, and the wheels. It just always fills up a wall. I told you I always used to use them. Here I am adding some lamps, and that's basically the room. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. But like it said, it's Olivia time, and like I was talking about in the bathroom earlier in the video, Olivia is the one artist that got the room that I wanted them to get, because I wanted her for the bedroom, I wanted Josh for the living room, I wanted Conan for the kitchen, Sabrina for the office, and Ariana Grande for the... I've gone blank. Bathroom. That's the one. But anyway, I am using her album Sour as like the vibe for this room, but also towards the end you'll see I start mixing in like Guts as well, because Guts had like confetti stars fall at the end of her concert. I actually have some in real life, but they're like blues and whites and stuff, so I add them on the walls later. But this bed was very Sour like vibes. You know how she has all the stickers on her face, like on her album cover, which I should have already shown on screen, but if not, here it is now. All the like stickers on her face, I wanted the like pillows to replicate that, so the crown and the flowers and the stars. So there is a method to my madness. And now, making a bed look comfortable. One thing in Bloxburg that I do struggle with is making beds look comfortable, because I feel like everyone, I walk into all these houses and you all have such like comfy beds. They all look so good in Bloxburg, and mine always just look flat and not very comfortable. But at one point I can't lie, I think I nail it. I nail it, and my bed finally looks comfortable for once. But I was struggling with the colours because I thought everything was clashing too much. I was having a bit of a mental breakdown, but I got through it. Especially with this being the last room, I knew I was so close. And then I added this to make it look like a little blanket. And then I made it plaid, and for some reason the plaid really like stood out to me, and I was like, yes, that's what we needed. But here I am doing the star thing that I was talking about, where I was looking at inspiration, and I noticed that a lot of stars are used in most of her like new merchandise and stuff, so I thought I would include them, and they actually look really cute. I kind of mirrored them on each side just because I thought it would look good. I think I did the colours the other way around on the other side, so it's kind of mirrored, kind of not. It's mirrored and opposite. But this room, once I got past the bed, it was all pretty smooth sailing from there, which is good. I was just so excited to finish this house and do a little tour and show you guys. The walls weren't letting me place a window, so I had to do that, and then I had to like realign the windows. So we had a little curveball, but we got through it. Adding pillars again, like every room, obviously. Here I was trying to figure out what curtains, and I went with my trusty like 2-layered ones, because I think they add a bit of depth to builds, so I like using them. Here I must have been being indecisive. Oh, and then I found this thing, I forgot they're called, like mosquito nets. and I thought it just made her bed look a bit more, not childish, but like, because Guts was her first album, it made it look a bit more whimsical and like innocent and childish. Do you know what I mean? But no hate on Guts, love it. And then I grabbed my custom cabinet that I think I used in the office as well, or I used it in the like entrance to the house. I grabbed that so I could make like this custom under window thing, which I really like, and I'm going to use it in other builds when I remember. But I just liked how this window like worked with the wardrobe. Like, it wasn't sticking out too much. It wasn't like, oh, there's a big gaping hole. Do you know what I mean? It was just good. I don't know where I'm going. I think I was trying to fix a window, but okay. We're back. A bit of a detour. Don't know what building me was doing. Have you guys noticed when you build, you're constantly like moving? Like, your camera's never like still. Is it just me when I'm thinking I like move back and forth from like the bit I'm looking at, like up and down? I don't know if it's to see different angles or subconsciously you just do it, but yeah. This is where I gave her like a little songwriting setup, like a book, a laptop, all that kind of jazz. I did want to try put an instrument somewhere, but there was no space. This room was big but small. Like, it had a lot of space, but once that bed was in, honey, you weren't fitting anything else. And here are those darn post-its again. One thing in BLOXBURG, I love decorating with post-it notes. I don't know why. I think a lot of people find them ugly. Let me know what you think about them in the comments. But I like them personally. Oh, and this is when I finally got to use this item. I was very excited about that. I tried it over here on this wall. Wasn't a fan. But then I added this, like, corkboard? No, pinboard. That's what it's called. I haven't used it yet in BLOXBURG, so I was very excited, and I loved how it worked out. It just really, like, made a desk area. I think, because people used to make custom ones. I never did, but I think people used to make custom ones. I hated that circle picture, so very quickly changed that. Obviously, these are going to be photos of Olivia, but you'll see that in the final little tour. I grabbed these diverse curtains again. See, I used them in 3 different rooms. I added that pattern because it looked like stars almost, just the way that the pattern like laid on the curtain bits. There is cutting to me doing some of the lighting, so it's like purple, but like still not too like in your face kind of purple. I grabbed some of the music notes from downstairs, popped them on the wall. Just to tie the stars in a bit more, I decided I wanted to put them up the doorway. So here I am doing that, and we're basically towards the end of the video. But this build took a lot longer than I thought it would, but I think it was worth it in the end, and I think it's really cute, and this could become a series. So next year, Spotify Wrapped, this video, which will be great, and it will be cool to see how I've improved with building, if I have. Hopefully by then I have. But that's it, and I'll see you guys for the tour. Goodbye! After many hours of recording and building, we have finally finished the Spotify house, so let's go take a tour. So, as you guys saw at the start of the video, we got a little porch, all lovely stuff. I really like it, to be fair. This custom thing, brilliant, and you're going to see how much I use these in the build. I have gone around and changed all the decals, so all the rooms should be done, but there might be one that I forgot. But here is our Ariana Grenade room. It's not much, I must be honest. I think it's my least favourite room in this whole build. I don't know why I struggled with her so much, but I do think the light's quite cool, considering like her album had that like one beam of light following her, like her album cover, so I think I did that well. But let me just put this light over here so it doesn't blind the rest of the house. But yeah, got the chair to look like her dress. I like. Then moving in to the Conan Gray room, which I think could be my favourite room in the house. I think the carpet turned out insane. One, new little BLOXBURG hack right here. I think the wishbone on the wall all worked out well. I think it all just came together quite nicely, and like the colour schemes all worked. But there's Mr. Conan right now. Next, we got the kitchen. I do like the kitchen. I also think this room came out better than I thought it would. Obviously, Joshua Bassett has a big tree in his, and I recreated that tree. I like how we can turn the light on and off if we really want to, but we can also play the guitar. Didn't mean to pick it up, but we are, because you will never see Joshua Bassett anywhere without his guitar, so we'll let that load back in. But you can also make some toast. I thought the toast would be aesthetic in the like beige room. But yeah, cool. Next, I mean, we do have this music corridor. I think we should just take that in one more time. Probably my favourite part of the house. Next, the last 2 rooms. We got Sabrina Carpenter. Now, I did struggle a bit on this bathroom. I was probably saying it in the voiceover. But, in the end, I think it turned out better than I thought about halfway through it. Halfway through I was like, oh gosh, this isn't going to do what I want it to. But, I think overall, it looks good. I like how we did the window, because she would definitely have a window if she was going to have a shower. Her shows are always based on like houses and stuff, so I thought this was like a little clever thing. All the kiss marks everywhere, hearts everywhere, just very her. And the fact that they have a Sabrina Carpenter like album in this game is so good. But yeah, that's the bathroom. And finally, moving on to my top artist of the year, the one and only Olivia Rodrigo. I like how this room turned out. I was very confused at first what I was going to do, but I think it all came together in the end. Just, I thought purple would like clash too much, but then when I started using other colours she's used in her albums, it just all worked out well, and like, look how comfy that bed looks. And the fact I got to use this item, so good. You probably saw I was trying to use it in every room in this house, basically, but we finally found a spot for it. But yeah, I'll meet you guys outside for the outro. Thank you so much for watching today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed, and if you made it to the end, please hit that like button and leave a comment so I know you made it to the end. But yeah, go check out my other social medias, Zigby at MonkeyMo on all social platforms, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!